Egypt trailhead to 25 Mile Wash loop will involve really the longest wettable shoe hike that I've ever been on. Today's April 3rd, 2018. I'm headed south on Highway 12 here towards Boulder, Utah, with some sweeping views of the Henrys and Cathedral Reef off to the left there. The place I wanted to go happens to be closed. Little Death Hollow. Apparently there's some dead cows in there, so at the moment the death part of the name can be taken literally. Now I'm on my way to Escalante, where there's a visitor center that I understand is the place to get the backpacking permits. So quite an incredible drive on Hell's Backbone here on my way down to Escalante though. I did end up scoring a permit to do the Egypt trailhead to 25 Mile Wash loop. I'm doing it over one night, starting at Egypt and ending at the same spot there, which will have me walking through the Escalante River, knee deep at most, for at least part of the hike, which will involve really the longest wettable shoe hike that I've ever been on. This route involves some cross-country route finding between 25 Mile Wash and the Egypt trailhead, which is accessed off of a spur road off of Hole in the Wall Road here. It's a pretty bumpy ride so far, but good reason to take it slow, at least if you have a vehicle like mine. With that, I'll enjoy a night of car camping, maybe a mile away from the trailhead tonight, and then see how I go here in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument.
Made a note of it. Did you write it on your hand? Put a name on it to help you understand. What do you see? The future's holiday out for me. Just let me know.
I'm finally getting close to the Escalante River and Neon Canyon. It's just right around the corner there. You can see where it looks like somebody's camped out down there. Didn't take the main route that's noted on the GPS I have or the other maps that I photographed. I ended up going south of that main canyon and following some cairns there, but looking forward to finally dipping down and getting closer to Escalante River. Still a little bit north of Neon Canyon, where the Golden Cathedral is located, and I see that somebody came prepared with some inner tubes over there. Kinda wishing I had a flotation device myself at the moment. Maybe next time.
Like the sound of it, gonna hang it on your wall. Turn and run with it. For the sake of one and all.
We're just above Neon Canyon at the moment, and there's actually a panel here with a mixture of Anastasi petroglyphs, and it looks like some cowboy graffiti as well, based on some of the dates. 1891, 1881, including S. Clark. can see the figure on the horse there. Looks like some livestock going on. And a cowboy with extra long arms there, putting up his dukes. In fact, there's another piece of what I assume to be cowboy graffiti down here that looks like a fight between these two cowboys, where they're both putting up their dukes. Looks like at least 2 or 3 layers of different types of petroglyphs or graffiti here in Escalante River Canyon, just above Neon Canyon.
When you call, nobody knows. What do you see? The future's holiday out for me. Just let me know where to go, where you go after the fall.
At the end of Neon Canyon is Golden Cathedral with very tall walls and an interesting triple arch and some interesting acoustics as well, as maybe you can hear. Whoop! During a flash flood situation, this must be an amazing spot to witness the waterfall coming through these skylights, I might call them.
I know so many places in the world. I follow the sun in my silver plane. You never saw traveler. You never saw traveler. You never saw traveler. You never saw traveler.
The thing to keep in mind with a lot of these wettable shoe hikes is just how challenging it can be to get up and down the banks. Some of them have a nice gradual sort of entry to get in and out of the river, but others are a bit steeper and more slippery, and you end up having to decide between walking through the river and navigating some of those banks or battling through the thicket. And I've been doing a little bit of both today. Seeing as how it's my first wettable shoe hike, it's definitely been a good learning experience. Today's April 5th, 2018, and hiked, a good 10 miles or more down to the confluence of 25 Mile Wash and Escalante. Enjoyed a stop at the Golden Cathedral in Neon Canyon there. Hiked about a mile up the 25 Mile Wash to find a campsite here next to this nice tall wall of what I'm thinking is Wingate sandstone. As I was battling my way through the thicket on the riverbank, I did get a stick like poking me in the eye, so feels like it might be a scratched retina, so I've been struggling with that a little bit. I'm a little bit injured, but still in high spirits as I'm about to have some breakfast and then continue up the 25 Mile Wash. There's a couple options for climbing out of the wash. One happens about, maybe 3 miles from here at a stock trail that exits out, and then up above a beaver pond is the suggested route, which might make for a little bit longer trip than the first exit, but I'll see how I go here as I plan to be back at the car tonight. After some time of trying to keep my feet dry, I'm just gonna go ahead in my trail runners today. Made it up to the junction and took a wrong turn, so had to backtrack quite a ways given the gnarly foliage along the steep bank here. Finally made my way down, and I'm just enjoying my leisurely stroll through 25 Mile Wash. Doing some lizard push-ups. 25 Mile Wash has been nice, but I'm ready to get above the rim, so I'm gonna see if I can find this stock trail that'll provide a little bit of a shortcut about 4 miles up from the Confluence.
Just feel everywhere, and home tomorrow is a brand new day. Let's go somewhere else. You never saw.
I'm off up a side canyon where there's supposedly a stock trail, but I'm not really seeing anything that would be appropriate for any type of stock. I found myself on an adventure in route finding here. From this viewpoint, I could see maybe 2 or 3 options that are worth pursuing, but I'm interested to see where this leads me. I'm thinking I'll probably try to traverse around those cavities or those alcoves up there and see if I could come out the top over in that direction. We'll see how I go. Still considering my options. There might be enough holds on the end of this to climb up and then walk along the very top of the ridge, but I'm a little bit bummed there's not an easier route up as we now pan around and look over the 25 Mile Wash. It looks like the stock trail that I was trying to find is actually right over there. So if this climb out, which is maybe, I don't know, 25 feet with a number of holds and little lips that I can grab onto, if that doesn't work out, I should be able to get up more easily right over there, a little bit east of here. Having a staring contest with this lizard who's hiding under this slab here, but maybe the biggest lizard that I've seen so far on this trip. Beautiful sort of orange and green coloring. If you know what type of lizard we're looking at here, please let me know. I am finally back on a trail after doing some cross country over the top of the desert plateau there for a few miles anyway. And all in all, the part of the trip that walked through the Escalante River and then the 25 Mile Wash, that was actually easier than I had expected. I had my doubts about my fussy feet being able to handle that part of the journey. The part up and across the desert on the way back, the sort of the cross-country choose your own adventure portion, was more difficult than I expected. I mean, after I got above the rim of the canyon and got out of that type of scenery, it got fairly boring. I saw some cool lizards and desert hare and stuff like that, but I did also scrape my knee. Didn't enjoy really being that far off of the trail, but I'm glad that I'm back on the main trail now and only about a mile or so off of the trailhead. All in all, really more difficult than my first overnight trip needed to be this year, but yeah, glad to have been able to get out here and experience the Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument for the first time. And that's all for now. See you next time.
On the next Backpacker Diaries.
I'm about to attempt my longest desert canyon hike yet, section 6 of the Hayduke Trail between Cathedral National Park and Coyote Gulch.